Parshas VaYigash, we find perhaps the most dramatic moment in the entire Chumash in this week's Parsha. Yosef reveals to his brothers that the viceroy of Egypt, the man who's arguably the most powerful man in the world, is not really the viceroy of Egypt. He's not a Gentile at all. He's their brother. And reinforces the point. He says, Ani Yosef achichem asher machartem os Mitzrayim. I am that Yosef who you sold down to Mitzrayim. And then he says further. He says, don't be sad and don't be angry. Don't feel bad about what happened. It all turned out for the best. Hashem brought me down here so I should be able to take care of you. There's a famine and you need to be fed. That's exactly why Hashem sent me here. But Yosef says further. He doesn't mention the mechir at all. And now he seems to be turning the corner, Yosef. Not that you sold me and it turned out for the best. You didn't send me down here. Hashem sent me down here. In the matter of a few psukim, a few moments, Yosef switches the whole story. Not just that it was a mechira, that you sold me and it turned out well. No, this was Hashem. Your sale was Hashem wanted to get me down here. Hashem wanted to put me in a position to take care of you. And the sale was the way to do it. So you didn't really send me here at all. The whole thing was a masquerade. Hashem wanted me down in Mitzrayim. Says the Sforno, then what do you see? When Yosef says, now when you really understand what's going on, is the tachlis that Hashem said, the purpose that he wants me to take care of you, that was really what was going on the whole time. And the sale was just the way to do it, was just to facilitate the hashgacha. We see something even further in Parshas Miketz. The pasuk says, "Vayimiketz nasam yom parachalom." 2 years ended, the 2 years that Yosef had to remain in jail, and then Paro had a chalom. Says the Medrash, the pasuk in Yosef says, "Ketz som l'choshech," that the time of the darkness ended. Ketz som l'Yosef, the time that Yosef kam yib surim, the time he needed to be in jail. Kivin shegia ketz, that once that time came. Once the amount of time that Yosef had to be in jail was finished, parachala. Says the Beis Halevi on this Medrash. This Medrash teaches us something very important about the hashgacha in Yosef's life and in our lives as well. And what's that? We would think, for example, a businessman goes out and he makes business deals. He becomes very, very wealthy. We say, oh, what happened? He made the deal and he became wealthy. He became wealthy because of the deal. That's what everyone would say. Says the Medrash, it doesn't work like that. Hashem wanted this man to become wealthy, so therefore he had business deals that were successful. But it was determined already that hashgacha was he should be wealthy, and the way to get there was through the business deals. So too, says the Medrash, the time of Yosef's incarceration was up, that was over. That once that time ended, parachalom. Paro had a dream when that time was over. We would look at the psukim and think that Paro had a dream. He needs someone to interpret it. The Saramashka tells him there's this Jew in jail. He can take care of you. And that's how Yosef got out of jail. Because Paro needed a dream interpreter. Says the Medrash, no. The time of Yosef's incarceration was over. How long did he be in jail? And that's why Paro had the chalaim. That's what it means in the pasuk Vayimiketz Shnasayim. When the time of Yosef's incarceration was up, parachala. We see a very important aside here in hashgacha, and that is that we look at our lives as whatever we do, whatever happens to us, and that interaction, that involvement, whatever it was, that produces a result. The Medrash is telling us it doesn't work that way. The result was predetermined, and everything we go through was in order to get to that result. That just like the businessman had to go ahead and do business in order to realize the hashgacha that Hashem had for waiting him all along, and Paro, his chalom only came because Yosef was time for him to get out of jail, so too in our lives as well. Things that happen to us are not just the result of our decisions, are not just the result of whatever the circumstances are, but Hashem has a hashgacha, He has a plan, what He wants us to be. And you see this not only in the Chumash, you see this today. I'll tell you a story. The story goes like this. One day, Alex Shafir got a call. Alex Shafir was a Russian immigrant, and he got a call from his friend. And his friend said to him, there's a woman who lives nearby, who doesn't have any family. She was nifter, and she needs, there should be a minyan in her house. Someone should say Kaddish for her. Can you put together a minyan? Alex said, of course. Took him about a half hour, brings his friends over. They have the key to the house, they get in, they make a minyan there, they say Kaddish, they learn some Mishnayos. And as Alex is walking out, he's caught by a plaque on the wall. The plaque is from Sinai Academy, and he says, I went to Sinai Academy. Wonder what that plaque's all about. He walks over, and it's a plaque that this woman who was nifter, who had no family, that she had given a substantial amount of money to buy a Sefer Torah for Sinai Academy. And he's looking at the plaque, and he sees his signature on the plaque. He can't believe it. And he looks, and he sees his friend's signature. He calls him over. And several of the men who were in that minyan, who were friends of Alex from Sinai Academy for many years, 30 years ago, this plaque was given to this woman for the Sefer Torah. They came over, and they see their names on there. What's the story with this plaque? This woman gave a Sefer Torah, and the way that the school wanted to thank her, they wanted to have all the students in the school should sign the plaque as a Koras HaTov, gratitude for what the woman did. Alex was beside himself. He couldn't believe what he was looking at. What happened over here? 30 years before, Hashem had already predetermined that this woman was not going to have anyone to say Kaddish for her, not have a minyan by her Beis Oval. So what did he do? It turned out that she made a decision to give a Sefer Torah so that she should perpetuate Torah in this school. And it came out that her memory was being perpetuated because of that Sefer Torah, because of the plaque on her wall. That's the way hashgacha works. And we should understand there's so many things in our own lives, so many situations we're in, so many decisions we make, and we don't realize that of course we have free choice, of course we have bechira, but Hashem is guiding our life. L'mashal. Maybe some of you have played chess against the computer. So many years ago, it was possible to get a draw with the computer. Couldn't beat it, but you could get a draw. Now with AI, it's so complex, you can't even get a draw. The computer's going to win every single time. Now, how does that work? You have bechira, what your move is going to be against the computer on the chessboard. You can choose any move you want. What happens? Once you make that move, the computer with all of its computations figures out all the different possible permutations and possibilities of where the move could be, and it makes the move that's eventually going to beat you. So you have free choice, you make decisions, but the chess master inside that computer, he's going to win the game. Who's the greatest chess master of all? The Ribbono Shel Olam. Ribbono Shel Olam. There's nobody who's a chess master like the Ribbono Shel Olam. So whatever move you make, he already has where your hashgacha is going to lead you. Rabos machshavos b'levish, v'atzis Hashem hisokum. Hashem has hashgacha for you, just like he had hashgacha. Then the brothers sold Yosef down to Mitzrayim. That was just on the surface. He needed Yosef in Mitzrayim to feed Klal Yisrael, to keep Klal Yisrael alive for their whole stay in Mitzrayim. And Paro had a dream. Why? Because Yosef had to get out of the jail. So now this was the day Yosef got out of the jail, that Paro would have a dream, that Paro needed a dream interpreter. Why did this woman give the Sefer Torah many years ago? She made a decision. She wanted to help the school out. But the hashgacha was that was going to be what was going to give her a zikaron, a memory, aliyas neshama many years later. And so too in your lives, as well as mine. When we look deeply enough into what's going on in our life now and went on in the past and see where Hashem wanted to bring us, we come to a deeper understanding of the hashgacha itself.